This is a demonstration showing how our direct rod engagement trigger system allows the user to be able to use an adjustment to take up a certain amount of trigger travel that happens with the standard AK system. On a standard AK, this is one of our units with the direct rod engagement without an adjustable screw in the front. You can see two pieces of tape. The two pieces of tape represent the distance between where the trigger fully releases and then where the sear engages. So for example, if we were to pull the trigger on this, you'll see that it'll travel almost to the back part of that blue, which is almost 3/8 of an inch, before the trigger releases the sear. So that's quite a bit of over travel and not necessarily required. So part of our design accommodates putting an adjustment screw in the front of this that prevents the trigger from having to travel all that far. Almost half that distance could be taken up very easily and safely without any loss of function. When you're in the infantry, you don't want to have any reason for failure, so they build a lot of slop, a lot of tolerance in the trigger mechanism. Well, it may not be required, and of course you don't have to use it, but we have designed a take-up piece in our system that eliminates that distance, or cuts it down, I should say, more than half. Less than 1/8 of an inch is actually required to have the trigger sear fully engage and for you to be able to articulate the trigger. For example, you can see the two blue pieces of tape here. There's just a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch space there for the trigger to engage. So you'll see the amount of trigger, and I'm going to pull the trigger, and just about at a 32nd of an inch it begins to release the sear. That's a substantial amount of better control. I'll show again. You can see the trigger starting to move, and then the over travel has been taken up with the screw that's in the front of the engagement. Okay? So that's, again, one of the benefits of our direct rod engagement system. You can, if you want, use the adjustment screw in the front. Now we also put a 1/4 inch pad in the back to cover over travel. So that means the maximum amount of travel on this is almost, well, just a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. And so there's enough for the trigger to re-engage the sear and for full safe operation, but you have much better control. When you put your finger on the trigger, you have less than a 32nd of an inch before your sear can engage, and then you can pull the trigger to fire the rifle.